Welcome to the Paul Levette Show, the show where truth meets bold patriotism. I am your host, Paul Levette, a proud, unapologetic Black American conservative. Today's show, we're going to dive into the controversy that is Texas Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett. We will take a look at her upbringing, education, success, betrayal of her parents' legacy, and the betrayal of the Black community. The title of today's show is this the empowered Black woman we were looking for? Our show outline, we're going to look at Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett's childhood and upbringing, empowerment and the fruits of her childhood and upbringing, the power of education, the ghettoification of Jasmine Crockett, and once again, selling out our Black community, and then our summary and conclusion. Now, let's talk about Jasmine Crockett's early years and try to answer the question, is she the ghetto mama she is now portraying? Also, is she just another successful Black leader who is trafficking the Black community? She is the most ghetto-sounding congressperson in the entire House of Representatives today. The reality is, she is an empowered Black woman who was born to a preacher and teacher father and a postal worker mother. She was raised in a Christian household and attended church regularly. Her parents emphasized education, hard work, and community services. Her parents also encouraged her to set and pursue her goals. Despite her parents being middle-class people, they managed to send her to a private school for her entire K-12 education. This is particularly important later when we discuss Jasmine Crockett's position on school choice and vouchers. But now let's take a quick look at the schools that she attended. So, presumably for her K-8 education, she attended Mary Institute and St. Louis Country Day School. And it is a prestigious independent coeducational private preparatory school located in St. Louis, Missouri. The school serves students from junior kindergarten through 12th grade and is known for its rigorous academic programs, diverse extracurricular activities, and commitment to developing leadership, character, and service in its students. And so that was her early education, and then she presumably transferred for high school to Rosati Kane High School. This is also a private school, specifically an all-girls Catholic high school. It is a private Catholic high school located in the Central West End neighborhood of St. Louis, Missouri. It is well known for its diverse student body, academic excellence, and strong emphasis on leadership and service. Now, let's take a look at the success that followed. All that her parents put into her paid off as she attended Rhodes College and received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Business Administration. And also, while there, she was encouraged by her professor and went on to Houston Law School, where she received her Juris Doctorate degree. She was so successful that as of 2025, Jasmine Crockett has an estimated net worth of $3 million. While she only makes $174,000 a year as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, we can attribute her net worth to her previous success and previous earned income as a lawyer, practicing both public defense and private law. Though she is unmarried and childless, she is otherwise the epitome of success, the epitome of a successful an empowered black woman. If I'm just looking at the information I've provided thus far on her, I am her number one cheerleader. But, of course, it doesn't end there. We have to look at what her parents instilled in her to get her to the point she is today. The value of education. Now, let's look at how she is following in the footsteps of other successful black leaders who end up trafficking the black community through the victimhood narrative, white envy, and the public education for thee, but not for me. Jasmine Crockett is the very poster child of school choice success. In my very first episode of the Paul Levette Show, I told you of the importance of education in determining the lifelong success of our black students. Jasmine Crockett received the best of both worlds. Parents who valued education and placed that same value and work ethic into her. And, of course, she had the benefits of school choice. Remember, Jasmine had an all K-12 private education. I'm not here to say that success is only found in private schools, as my own children are AP and honors students in solely public schools. But when public schools are failing or not up to standards, or simply via parental rights choice, parents should be allowed to put their children into private schools. Additionally, we should allow the per student costs given to public schools to be put toward private school enrollment. You would think that Miss Crockett, based on her personal private school experience and success, would support this, but you would be wrong. As with so many successful black leaders before her, she is against school choice. Remember, public education for thee, but not for me. Jasmine Crockett has received all the benefits of a private school education, and she has received all the success that came with that private school education. But sadly, she is pulling up the ladder behind herself, ensuring that other black families are unable to replicate her success. And you do not need to look far to know that Jasmine Crockett is a vocal opponent of school choice programs, particularly when it involves private school vouchers. Here are the words from her very own mouth via her ex, formerly Twitter account. Well. Looks like our favorite Trump cronies finally got their wish. Texas taxpayers now get to foot the bill for someone else's kid's private school tuition. This bill has always been crap, and that's why Texans have rejected it year after year. But Greg Abbott is bought and paid for by billionaires, and so is half of this year's legislature. They do not listen to the people, they listen to their daddies. And no, I am not talking about biological. Y'all, go ahead and wave goodbye to a quality public education in Texas. Sadly, she, like other successful black politicians, parrot the false narrative of equity and access issues. That school choice programs and vouchers may exacerbate inequalities in the education system, potentially benefiting wealthier families who can afford private school tuition while leaving lower income students in underperforming and underfunded public schools. So tell me, why would black and brown families not use their vouchers to send their children to successful private schools? Oh yeah, Democrats like Jasmine think that because I have brown skin or black skin, I am not intelligent enough to figure this out. Daddy Biden, Daddy Obama, Daddy Clinton, and Mama Jasmine, and the list of Democrats goes on. They believe that they are the only saviors for the black and brown skinned people. Roughly 150 years after the slaves were free, we still need a massa to take care of us? Well, at least that's what Democrat politicians Democrat voters and Jasmine Crockett thinks of today's black families. Next, I want to contrast the empowered, educated, and articulate Jasmine Crockett with the ghettofied Jasmine Crockett, proving the point of how she has sold her soul for the political power that comes with pimping out the black community to a life of white envy, dependency on others, and the victimhood mentality. First, let's take a look at well-spoken Jasmine Crockett, who speaks befitting of her extensive education and success.
What was really frustrating was that during those hearings, we saw a Texas Congressman, Pat Fallon, who said, "Oh, I received this text message. Your colleagues have agreed to work on this issue." It's amazing that once on the national, in the national headlines, now finally they're like, "Oh yeah, we messed up."
There are 4 African American seats currently in Dallas County. They are HD 100, HD 109, HD 110, and HD 111. When we look at the African American population as we sit currently, HD 109 has 64% African Americans.
We are in the minority, but not by much. And as I'm sure you and your colleagues have seen, right now the Republicans still can't coalesce around a speaker, which that only inures to our benefit. We are stronger than ever. You asked me about whether or not, the vote was something that freshmen could actually participate in, and I told you we did it by acclamation. We are united as Democrats, but the Republicans, they are falling apart. And so I think that presents an opportunity not just for us, but for all Americans.
Now, that is the intelligent and well-spoken Jasmine Crockett representing and empowering black women by her example. Now, let's look at the sellout, ghettofied Mama Jasmine Crockett, who is drunk with political power and selling blacks into the bondage of white envy and the victimhood mentality to maintain her political power.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess.
It's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard.
You could speak directly to Elon Musk. What would you say?
Off.
Here she epitomizes everything that makes a black person who has walked off the Democrat plantation cringe and hope that people do not think that all blacks speak and act the way Jasmine is acting. Why does Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett makes this dramatic transformation in behavior? It's simple, actually. It gets her on all the news stations and builds her reputation within the Democrat Party. We're seeing the old race to the bottom of this party. Her goal is to amass as much political power as possible and eventually take over the party. And she has no shame with duping and keeping black families in bondage to do it. The sad thing is, she is doing it at the expense of her parents' legacy and the expense of her own legacy. The truth is, Jasmine Crockett's childhood and college story are something that everyone, especially blacks, can be proud of. But sadly, she just as far too many other successful black politicians has soiled their legacy for the allure of political fame and power. In the same vein as God gave Barack Obama the U.S. presidency to champion and advance the plight of black Americans, so too has she squandered God's gift to her. Her legacy is the legacy of the 17 and 1800 Southern Democrat slavers, keeping blacks in bondage and never realizing their full potential. Before we go, let me hit my main point again. A successful black person begins with their parents valuing education and placing that value within their kids. Even though Jasmine Crockett is a force for evil now, She is also proof of what you can do and how far you can go with hard work and a great education. Jasmine Crockett is not evil because of her education. She is evil because she has given in to the lust of political power and is willing to hold her people, the Black community, down to maintain her power. We're almost through, but I would be remiss if I did not stop to reflect upon the soiled and shameful historical legacy Jasmine is going to leave behind, consisting of disrespect of individuals with disabilities, expressing herself as a racist and a bigot, and also campaign finance violations. So the Jasmine Crockett we see on TV is a fraud and a liar to her people or kinfolk, as she has expressed. Currently, her ugly and lasting legacy will be remembered as an individual who is disrespectful of people with disabilities. She is on video calling Governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, Governor Hot Wheels. He has been in a wheelchair due to an accident since 1984.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot man.
Additionally, she is an express racist and a bigot, often belittling whites.
Like, let's go find the safest white boy we can find. I mean, I'm just saying.
And also insulting Byron Donalds, who is a U.S. representative who just happens to be married to the woman he loves, who just happens to be white.
Or literally, it's because you married a white woman and so you think that that whitewashed you. I'm not really sure, like, what it is. So I'm like, bruh, like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you saying? Like, he just out here, you know, I feel like they give him his talking points and he's like, yes, massa, I got it.
And additionally, she is a racist and a bigot for towing the Democratic line of keeping Blacks in the bondage of white envy, dependency on others, and the victimhood mentality. And lastly, she is the subject of a Federal Elections Commission campaign donations violations complaint, which has been sent to the Department of Justice and the Office of Congressional Ethics. She is accused of improper disclosures and receipt of donations, allegedly having used straw donors through Act Blue. As a result, her campaign received $56,610 donations, or $34,150, from the same person via Act Blue. Interestingly, Act Blue itself is under investigation also. The person they took advantage of is a 73-year-old retiree who denies making any such donations to Miss Crockett. Well, there you have it. The real Jasmine Crockett, someone who insults people with disabilities for political gain. She is a vile racist spewing hatred towards white men, and worse yet, racially disparaging a fellow successful Black politician just because he dare have a different opinion than her. And finally, she is alleged to be a campaign donation fraudster, having received $34,150 from a single 73-year-old retiree that denies ever making a donation to her campaign. If you are a Democrat, particularly a Black Democrat, I want you to be intellectually honest and go back and review these videos. And also be intellectually honest and ask yourself, it has been roughly 60 years since Dr. King and the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s. Why is it every Black leader since then consistently tells you that the white man is out to get you, the white man is keeping you down? Why in that 60 years have those Black leaders not led the Black community to success? And the answer to that is they don't want success. Because once you are dependent on yourself and your own ability, they lose all their power. So their power comes from keeping you thinking you are owed something. They're never going to allow you to be independent and dependent on yourself. So review these things, walk off the plantation, join me in the freedom of self-responsibility, and the sky is the limit. And there you have it. I think we have successfully exposed Jasmine Crockett for the fraudster that she is, the show that she is putting on to dupe our Black community. So I want to thank you for sticking around this long and remind you to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and press the notification button to be updated when I upload new content.